Hi, my name is Phoebe Derringer, and this is my Christian witness. I don't like surprises. I read spoilers for movies while I'm watching them just so I can know what's about to happen. I'm the type of person who wants to know the answers to questions I haven't even asked yet, you know? Growing up, I had a hard time understanding the power of prayer. When I was younger, I couldn't get my head around the idea that I could ask God to help me whenever I wanted, because I never really felt like He was answering me. How did that make any sense? But my education at Holy Cross Lutheran Church and School has challenged and changed the way I understand prayer, and I want to share it with you. One night, 3 years ago, my family got a call from my grandma. She explained that my uncle had been in a severe, life-threatening ATV accident. She didn't know if he would make it through the night. We had jumped in our car in pajamas and raced to southern Indiana to the hospital where he had been lifelined to. All of my dad's side of the family was there in the waiting room. My dad and I went back to the room my uncle was in. My grandma, grandpa, and my aunt were back with him. When I entered the room, my heart dropped. A ton of medical equipment was attached to my uncle. He had injuries all over. His left eye was swollen shut. I stood there in silence, praying and praying that God would keep him alive. Please, God, I thought, keep him alive. When my dad and I left, I ran to the bathroom and broke down in tears. I was so scared. Even though my uncle and I lived far away from each other, I was still scared so much. All through the night, I prayed. It was almost like a chant. Looking back, I realized God had answered my prayers that night, even though it wasn't until much later that we knew my uncle was going to be okay. My uncle survived. This situation I was put in reminded me of Psalm 34, verses 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. I was reminded of this verse because I was scared and afraid, and God was close to me in my time of need. Throughout most teenagers' lives, I feel like we all have a time where we feel sad for no reason. I know this was true for me. All throughout my 6th grade year and leading up to this day, I've had days in which I'm sad for no apparent reason. When these days come, God is the one to lead me out of the darkness. When I notice these days, I pray. Throughout the day, I try to pay a little more attention in religion class. I try to read a little more of the Bible than usual. Some days, I feel like no one is going to listen to me. And then I remember God will always listen to me no matter what. Physical health sometimes causes these days too. A few years ago, I broke my right kneecap while playing volleyball. I don't think it ever healed correctly because some days my knee feels like it's being stabbed over and over again. This makes me rude and grumpy and upset. I always pray to God to help the pain go away. God will always answer in either yes, no, or not yet. It's Jeremiah 29, verses 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Over the years, I have doubted my faith. This used to make me feel guilty and nervous because I thought that when I doubted God, it made me a bad Christian. Thanks to my teachers, small groups, and youth groups, I have learned that all of us go through the same thing. Everyone has questions about their faith. Even the most devoted Christians have valleys in their faith, or times when they don't feel close to God. The biggest reasons for my doubtful thoughts were friendships, family, and growing up. There have been many times where my friends turned against me. They left me alone, with no one. My 3 best friends and God helped me with my friendship struggles. I prayed continuously that God would help me and my friends. He answered my prayers. I believe God was trying to teach me not to depend on other people, but to rely on my God. I am proud to say I have built my relationship with God immensely, even though it's not always been clear or easy. God has helped me throughout my life, and I know He will continue to work through me to spread the word. The greatest thing He has ever done is to die on the cross for me, to save me from my sins. In the future, I want to continue to grow my faith. I will finish my elementary and middle school journey at Holy Cross, and I will continue attending church and youth group throughout high school. When I am an adult, I may even want to join a missionary group to share the love and the word of God to people outside my community and around the world. I'd like to thank God for always being there no matter what time or day. I'd like to thank my parents for sending me to this amazing school, my friends for always being there for me, and the Holy Cross congregation for always supporting me. Thank you.